Hello, everyone, and hello, ladies. How is everybody doing tonight? Wonderful. Thank you guys so much for joining me here on the Stephanie Stevens Show. Tonight, I am going to answer, I think, some important questions that you ladies had for me. I don't know if, I think you're trans women that are actually emailing me, but you're not saying that you're trans women. You're either trans women or you're women emailing me about a certain subject. Now, as you know, a few weeks ago, I talked to Travoy in the Flesh about black men and loving only black men. Now, as you know, I have an episode of the Stephanie Stevens Show coming up with Sweet Pea where I talk candidly about the business of escorting. Now, a lot of women have asked me about the escorting. Why is it that they see on the forums sometimes no black men, no Asian men, and no Muslim men? Now, I have done my research a little bit on it. If you can give me more details and your opinion is different than what I am going to blog about tonight, then you tell me, and then I will tell my audience. I will pass it on to my audience about your thoughts. I want everyone's opinion. But this is, when I researched it, this is what I asked a few of the trans women that are in the business of escorting. Why is it that they don't want black customers or Muslim customers or Asian customers? Now, the majority of them say something that I thought was very concerning and quite interesting. I mean, as far as a person on the looking into answering your questions and having an open conversation about why black trans women don't want black men as clients if they're escorting, and a lot of them don't even want to date black men. Okay, let me start by saying that you asked me what do I think about black trans women that won't date black men or have black men as clients if they're escorting. Now, I asked a few of the girls, why is it that they don't date black men? And they say they're just not interested because there's too much baggage. They said they either have a wife, they're on the down low, or they have children, and they don't really understand who and what they're coming to visit, and they don't really understand what it is that they want from that person. The sex is easy, but when these men, from what I'm getting with some of the girls, is that these men are looking to pursue 9 times out of 10, not the gay sex. They're looking for something a little bit more than the gay sex. They're looking for the freaky gay sex that they think trans women can give to them that normal black women won't do with them in bed. As we know, most black women don't like to have oral sex. Trans women make their living with oral sex. And from what I'm getting from a lot of the girls is that they're very good at it and that they enjoy it. So I think the fact that the men that are coming to see these women are looking for women that enjoy oral sex or just the gay sex or the freaky sex. So now, when you ask me about why is it that black trans women don't date black men or have them as clients. When I asked the girls about why don't they have them as clients, they said the black men don't want to pay. They said the black men always come up short of the money. And they want to, excuse my language for saying this, but they want to fuck them down and then don't want to pay them the money they want that they're supposed to pay them. This is what I'm getting from the girls. And this is why they don't want it. It's not necessarily that they're not attracted to black men or they wouldn't date a black man. They just don't want the bullshit that comes with dating black men or having them as clients. A lot of them emailed me and said that black men don't want to pay, regardless the way they feel is that a lot of people call them prostitutes or escorts or ladies of the evening, or like most men say, hoes and bitches. But the girls have a very strong opinion about not having black clients. So, and number one was always about the money. Number two, they said 67% of them said they had some altercation with black men in the process of what the exchange was going to be, what the agreement was going to be. They always had a negative encounter about the money, about the sex, about them actually not lying about their status, their HIV status, or the fact that if they got into a relationship with them, they would lie about the woman, that they had children. The trans women just didn't have any trust in the black men. But the ones that were escorting really didn't want the black men only because they said they didn't want to pay, or they always come to their place and they're always short of the cash, the money. And they didn't want that because a lot of the girls say that they're business women. And 9 times out of 10, they have to get in an altercation or an argument with people they thought maybe would, because sometimes the looks are deceiving. Sometimes the clients look like they have $1 million and they don't have anything. But they figure because they're good looking and they have a big dick that the girl's going to go with them. The girls made it clear to me that they can get a big dick anywhere. So, but black men need to understand that a lot of the times the black girls, what they expressed to me was the fact that there was always that initial tension if it was business. If they always had that initial tension with the man, and they didn't like that. So with that, they don't want any black clients, and black trans women they'd rather date the white boys because they said that the white boys pay, they treat them better, even though they said they're just as dangerous as the black men, but the white men have so much more to lose. And I didn't quite understand that at first, but then when I thought about it, I understood. And I don't have to tell you, my audience, what they meant by that. So you wanted to know what do I think of that? I think that everybody has the right to choose to sleep with who they want, and there should be no question about that. If the girls have a legitimate concern about black men and not paying them, and them not wanting to be in danger, and them not wanting to be in an altercation because you don't want to pay, I think they have the right to say, I don't want to have a black client. I think they have the right. And I don't think they owe you an explanation. I don't. I think that if they say no, it's no. And that's just the way it is. Move on. Now, a lot of you asked me about the prostitution aspect from the girls, and about how the trans women felt about the fact that they know the man had a wife and a baby at home, or they suspect. A lot of the trans women told me they could care less if the man had a woman and a baby at home, unless they were getting in a monogamous relationship with this man. But they said they always had it in the down of their mind that they were visiting other she-males, cross-dressers, because there's so many hookup sites now that these guys have got pictures on every site and they know every one of the girls. Because they always say, do you know this one or do you know that one? That's what I got a lot of. So it's always a little bit of mistrust from the girls. So being in the situation a lot of the girls are in, that they need the money and that they need to pay their rent, or they need, just to live, they need the money. They said that they don't need any hassles. They don't need any bullshit. And I understand that. So my thoughts on that is, if a woman says no, it's no. Don't say it's because I'm black. No, it's not because you're black. It's because of the stigmatism of what a lot of black men have done to the girls when they go to visit the girls. That the rumor is out that the black men don't pay, or they're short of the money, or they want to beat you up or harass you because they have their backs up already, because they know you don't want them, because they know that you're lying to them. And the girls don't care if you're lying to them if you pay them what you're supposed to pay them or what the agreement was. This is the sense of what I'm getting from the women. Now, you asked me, what do I think of Muslim men and Asian men? I just think all of these men are in the same category, regardless if they're black, white, Muslim, or Asian. All men should be linked to this category. I understand that a lot of you ladies have had a lot of negative encounters with mostly black men. This is what you're saying to me. So my thing is I don't have, for me, what do I think? I think you have the right to say no to black men if you don't want to date them, and everybody has to respect that. Because number one, you don't want to be in danger. You don't want the cops at your house. You don't want the baby's mamas at your house. You don't want no bullshit. And I understand that. So I think you have the right to say no to black men if you don't want them as clients or dating them. Now, a lot of you asked me about how did I feel. Is it that you wanted me to ask, do all trans women are escorts? I asked that question. And they said to me, 90% of the girls said they are either escorting at this time, have escorted, will escort, go back to escorting. And I found that not shocking. I just found that, and I asked why. And they said, because a lot of it came from early transitioning, deciding that they wanted to be women. And once they decided they wanted to be the person that they felt that they were born to be, they didn't have any other way of making a living. So they started hanging around the bars and hanging around certain people that they thought could help them become the woman that they wanted to be. And 9 times out of 10, a lot of the times that the women that they wanted to be around or be like were already escorts. So that brought them into the business of escorting. And they also saw the easy money, the easy lifestyle, but they also saw that as a means to getting their hormones and seeing a doctor and transitioning faster. Now, a lot of the girls, I asked a lot of the girls in New York, as you know, I'm from Florida. That's Silicon City. Okay, Florida is Silicon City. Now, a lot of the girls back in the days went to we call them the kitchen doctors, where they did the silicone in the back rooms or the hotel rooms or in your apartment. The lady would come visit you, inject you, and you get the hips or the breasts that you wanted. Now this was all illegal, but for a long time back in the 1960s, late 60s and 70s, silicone wasn't illegal until it started. People started injecting it and people started dying. And then the government took notice that these women or these men who were wanting to be women were using these people were doing illicit practices on human beings, and the government took notice to these young gay men visiting these people for these silicone injections and dying. Now, we all know somebody that has gone to the kitchen doctors. And New York City is famous for it. Chicago, LA, all these places are famous for silicone injections. Me, I haven't had any silicone injections, period. Now, if I would have been still living in Florida, I would have. Now, when I asked the girls, why did they take the chance of doing the silicone injections back then? And they said because it looked safe to them. They didn't hear, the internet didn't have as much about silicone injections because it wasn't a real issue. But once the culture and the movement of the silicone, all the girls who were doing the shows started having silicone, and you heard very few of them dying. And basically, the girls said it was a visual thing. So when they saw the girls on the stage with the big breasts and the big hips, and the big cheeks, they wanted to be like them. So they didn't see anything. They didn't see them looking sick or anything. So they decided they wanted to have that. With me, I knew early on that I would not put silicone in my body like that. Just my instinct told me that it wasn't the right thing to do. Because even when I was in the dressing room, I used to look at the girls and I used to look at the skin and the discoloration of the skin with the silicone in it and how stiff all this stuff was. And I just knew that it wasn't good. But you asked me, what did I think of it? I think if you want to put silicone in your body, put it in your body, but only after you've seen a doctor. See a doctor first before you want to be the woman that you are, so you can make sure that you're doing things the right step. This didn't happen overnight. A lot of the girls want to be women overnight. Nobody is a woman overnight. It takes a long time, mentally, physically, and just overall, just emotionally. This is a very draining process if you're not ready for it. So what do I think? I think go through the proper channels to become the woman that you want to be. Asking a lot of the trans women, a lot of the trans women were very angry at the system, the fact that they don't have health care or they have very little health care. Even when they have full coverage, there's still question about their sexuality that blocks them from becoming the woman that they want to be. With their jobs, social services, things that would make things much easier for them to integrate into society as the person they want to be. But they're always running into roadblocks because of the system. Now, I asked a lot of them, why is it, do they work? Do they do something different besides prostitution for a living? And a lot of the girls say they work. They work in the bars. That they do the shows at night, and they work in the bars during the day, and they clean the place, or they work on the property where the bars are. They always do something that is more that caters to what they're interested in. They do makeup, they do hair, they work in salons. Um, a lot of them told me that that they that they're maids, and because those are the easier jobs for them to get. A lot of them bartend because they work in the bars and they know the owners or the managers of the bars. So they do everything they can to stay connected. They work in the wig stores or the makeup stores, MAC or Sephora, so they can be connected to the things that are beautiful. And they think also because when people who visit these places are more likely and open to them being the woman that they are, because that is what the business of makeup is. Making you feel fabulous and feel different, look different, and be beautiful all the time. And trans women want to be beautiful and feel special. This is what I'm getting from them. Now, I read the forum on a lot of the escort sites, and a lot of the questions that were coming into my email box about why is it that so many trans women are angry with real women. And I think it's, for me, I asked a few of them why were they angry at real women. A lot of them said they weren't angry at real women. They're just angry at the way real women treat them. And whether, no matter how convincing they look, real women still treat them like they're a man. And they never try to understand or try to talk to them about the transition process, or just be friendly with them to just, if they have questions about it, they say it's just always a negative conversation, or a negative look, or a real strange look, or a very bad conversation, which always ends up in a negative altercation, they said. Now, what do I think about that? I think everybody has an opinion about everything and everybody. But I think once we learn to respect each other, and sometimes we all need to mind our own business. We all need to mind our own business. I think that is the key to sometimes not having the problems that we have with each other. If we mind our own business and have respect for other people, don't look for a fight. Because a lot of people think because they look for the fight and this person looks this way or this way, that they can just do them any old kind of way. Society is very different today. And if you read the forum and you go on the internet, we're in more danger than what we all know. So we need to learn how to respect each other. Space, race, jobs, relationships. We need to respect each other and just respect each other for just who we are as human beings. Not necessarily as a black trans woman or a real woman. We just need to respect each other as human beings. That's what I think, since you asked me. Now, I'm going to finalize this by saying that in the long run, I understand the black trans women not wanting to date black men or have them as clients. I understood their argument. I wouldn't want to be fighting with somebody all day and arguing with somebody lying to me about their on the down low. Somebody lying to me about their STDs, somebody lying to me about if they're married or not, or if they have children, somebody lying to me about it's their first time and all this kind of stuff. I understand that. And I also understand the escorting part, when you're not going to get paid for the services, or you feel like you're in danger, or the person feels like they're just going to take advantage of you because they think that you are a hoe. So I understand that, black trans women. So what do I think? I think you made the right decision when you didn't want to see them or you don't want to date them. I think you made the right decision for you. Now, as far as the world goes And as far as life goes, be safe, be firm, try to own your own business, try to work together with others to where all of you can thrive. If they're getting rich, you should be getting rich. Okay? And at the end of the day, just remember that we're human beings and we make mistakes, and we always are. There will always be racism. We can just hope and pray that one day it will go away. But we have to first learn how to respect and understand each other. 3, understand that this is life. Be fabulous. Have a good time, because tomorrow you're not promised. So enjoy your life. Don't take it too serious. And thank you for being on the Stephanie Stevens Show. Thank you guys so much for inviting me into your homes and into your lives and joining the conversation on the Stephanie Stevens Show. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you to Janet Jackson for putting out a new album. I've been working up a storm. Thank you, Miss Jackson, if you're nasty. Thank you. And thank you to all of the new venues and the new bars and places I have been working at. And thank you to the agents that are reaching out that said you want to represent me. Who would have thought? I am so glad I finally got on Twitter. Remember, I'm on Twitter at Mr.Toronto2. At Mr.Toronto2. I'm on Facebook, Stephanie Stevens, Tina Turner impersonator. Type that in, I'll add you. I want to come to any city, every city. I have a passport. I can go anywhere. Okay? I do any and every occasion, from mild to wild, and X-rated as well. I do stand up. You just tell us what you need and if you would like to have Stephanie Stevens appear at your birthday party, any of your events, just Facebook me or phone my agent, Nick Folks at Complex 5 Entertainment, 416-724-7510. Get you some. Or you can also find me on Hotmail, Miss Toronto, MISSTORONTO at hotmail.com, or Gmail, DianaKing32 at gmail.com. All right, thank you guys so much for joining me here on the Stephanie Stevens Show. It's the Stephanie Stevens Show. It's the Stephanie Stevens Show. And tonight my subject was Black trans women who don't want to date Black men or have Black men as clients. Okay, so I hope I didn't do all of the questions because there's so many questions. So hopefully I answered enough, ladies, to get the conversation started. Thank you guys so much for joining me here on the Stephanie Stevens Show. Coming up on my show in a few weeks is the fabulous Donna Rama, talking about community and the drag business. Mr. David Horsack about taking hormones for the first times. Bip Bop about Bob Dion about poetry and the life of just being fabulous in the life of poetry. I have a lot of different subjects coming up, so thank you guys so much. If you'd like to join the conversation and you're in Toronto and you want to have a conversation with Stephanie Stevens, just email me or Facebook me. I'd love to have you on my show. Let's get this YouTube channel, Stephanie Stevens T, rocking. Thank you guys so much for joining me here on the Stephanie Stevens Show. The Stephanie Stevens Show. It's the Stephanie Stevens Show. It's Stephanie Stevens Show. It's Stephanie Stevens Show. It's the Stephanie Stevens Show. Thank you, everybody, and have a great week. Merry Christmas, Happy Hanukkah, Happy Kwanzaa, and Happy Holidays. Thanks, everybody. Over and out. Bye-bye. It's the Stephanie Stevens Show. It's Stephanie Stevens Show. It's the Stephanie Stevens Show. Over and out, everybody. Have a great weekend. Bye.